And we're back to learning Inkscape, and this time I'm going to show you how to create a text shadow effect. Another question that I've received, and it's basically about how to recreate the effect that you can see in the thumbnail of this video. At first I've got the snapping enabled, then I use the type tool, create some text, I press Ctrl A and I center it. And I align it to the center right here. Let me size it up, holding Shift and Ctrl. We need a rectangle, it should be the size of the text element. Double click on it and you can skew it. And then resize this rectangle so that the text is covered. Let me give it a different color. And I'll put it to the bottom. Now go to Path and Object to Path and use the Nodes tool to transform this rectangle. The bottom line is defined by the text itself. And the other two nodes, they're going to be the angle of the shadow. So this is the most important step, but you can adjust it afterwards, so don't be afraid to experiment around. So that's a good point to start for us. Let me select the text, then I press Ctrl D to copy it. So we've got two text elements on top of one another. The first one is selected. I go to Path and Object to Path. Then I go to Path and Path Effects, click on the plus sign. And we use this one, the Perspective Envelope effect, and then the Nodes tool. And we can reposition these nodes and they will snap to the corners of the rectangle. And if you don't like it, you can just go back to the rectangle, use the Nodes tool and reposition that, and then switch back to the text and reposition that as well. Once we're done, we don't need a rectangle anymore. Select it, delete it, create a new one to have a background, put it to the bottom. Select the text. Make it white, the contrast is better, and I'll put it to the top. Let me give the background a darker color and you can see it. At first it was like this. So it was behind the black shadow and it needs to be on top. Select the black, the shadow text, Object, Fill and Stroke. Go down with the opacity a little bit and add some blur. And you may want to give your background a radial blur. So select it, use the gradient tool, left click, or let me delete that first. So make sure on top it's radial and have it set to have the gradient applied to the fill. Go to the fill right here. Center point, we want to make it white. And the two outer points, let's make them dark. So first go up with the opacity. Or maybe we don't use black and white. You can reposition these nodes, but it's a good idea to turn off the snapping for that. Let me use a bluish color, something like this. Once you've got something that you like, press Ctrl A and then Ctrl G to group it. But be aware that if you move this element around, there seems to be a little bit of a glitch in Inkscape. So this gradient, it might not move. You can see that right here. So press Ctrl Z, and again Ctrl A, Ctrl G, and then export it. So don't move it around or you'll have this glitch. And this is how you can create this text shadow effect in Inkscape. I hope this video was helpful, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.